My name is Gasia Mikaelian, coming to you through KTVU Fox 2 News in the San Francisco Bay Area. Here in California, millions of children have started the school year with distance learning only. And many moms say they're under more stress than ever before. So let's talk about that mom stress by bringing in a mom herself, also a doctor. Welcome to you, Dr. Renee Wellenstein, to talk about what we can do to help manage not just our stress, but everyone's.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of
You know,
course.
I
You
Go
were
ahead.
going to say, you just told me today's the first day of school for you and your family.
Absolutely. So I experienced this firsthand, which is why I think I'm the perfect person to talk about this. And I have twins at that. So I experienced it myself. And I think a lot of moms out there are going through what I have been through and I'm currently going through.
I think a lot of us had stress leading up to the start of the school year. My boys have been in for a couple of weeks. Now that we're in it, it's just a whole different kind of stress. So can you give
Mhm.
us all, parents, moms and dads and caregivers, some strategies to cope with the stress that we're feeling and probably our children are feeling too?
Absolutely. Here's the problem, or maybe not. We moms, even the dads, we're used to this high paced, stressful world, right? In the last 6 months, the ante has just been upped. We experienced this in March, April, May, where we not only were employees or maybe had to move our businesses home, but now we're also, the moms still, and we're the teachers and learning how to do this virtual schooling thing. So I think it's important for us to recognize that some symptoms that moms, dads, caregivers may be experiencing that are more so prevalent now in the last 6 months, and maybe they've had them this whole time, they just never realized it. And some of it could just be some mood changes, maybe a little more on edge, a little more irritable. Maybe they're just not sleeping as well. That could look many different ways. In the morning, they just can't get out of bed. At night, they're a little wired, they can't go to sleep. Maybe that motivation they had to do things in the past is just not there anymore. And the other key thing I'm finding is we're grabbing for the sugar and the junk food. And that is because we're so low energy and fatigued. And a lot of moms, we think it's normal to be so tired all day long and run on a pot of coffee throughout the whole day. And that potentially is not normal. So, I think what's key across the board, and especially for our kids included, because they're undergoing the stressor also, is we need to try to make sleep a priority. And the problem again is stress will impact your sleep, but without getting really great quality sleep, we're not going to be able to be as resilient to that stress. Because again, I can't make everyone's stress go away, but I can give you some tools to empower you to make it a little easier to get through your day.
I think part of the problem is that even when I'm strict with myself when it comes to bedtime, I anchor an early morning news program. I say, look, 8:30, the devices go dark. By 9 o'clock, I should be in bed. Great. I'm in bed at 9 o'clock, but I'm stressing about my job, about my son's distance learning, about everything that's happening all around me, and even in this house that I didn't have to deal with 9 months ago. So even though
Exactly.
you're in bed, you may not be asleep. Help us get
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah, this is another really great tip to find your ohm. And my ohm often is first thing in the morning and last thing at night. And what I mean by that, a lot of people think, oh, meditation. And for me, it is meditation, but whatever you find relaxing, so you can shut your brain off. And again, the entry point into your day and the exit from your day are the best times to do this. Now, some people's ohm is taking a walk out in nature or journaling, which can be done at nighttime, maybe journaling out all of those stressors you have, put it on paper. So, or things you have to do. So you're not thinking like, I have to remember to do this and this, but I personally trying to just I put on my earphones and I just meditate for usually 45 minutes. I fall asleep and it's amazing how I just stop thinking of everything else and I fall asleep.
How do you help your children? How old are your twins?
They're 13.
Oh gosh, so they are just in those prime, I want to be with my friends.
Mhm.
I have fifth and sixth grade boys, and thank goodness they have each other, as your twins do.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
that cannot substitute for that rich social experience that comes with the middle school life that you and I probably remember. Um,
Absolutely.
I sort of don't have a solution for when my sixth grader says, I just miss my friends. Can you
I
help
know.
us that way?
Well, it's funny you said that because my son today said, well, during lunchtime, can I Zoom my friends? And it's kind of this double-edged sword, because my mom instinct was first to say, you've been on electronics enough. You're on all day, Zooming your classes. But then I held back and I talked to my husband, who's standing right there. I said, what do you think? Because here's the thing. Typically at lunch, they would be socializing. So, we have allowed them a lot of Zoom time. A very small group of people throughout the summer, they were in contact with just maybe 2 other friends. And that was it, basically, to have a little bit of socialization, because it's been incredibly hard. And I'm also married to a physician, and we are also parents that, we didn't go through this. So we don't understand that the social dynamics that they're going through. And we really had to give up some control in July and say, okay, you're not going to have the big parties. You're not going to be going to any big birthday parties, but maybe 1, 2, 3 girls, boys throughout the summer, and just keep to that one group, make sure we know they're not going anywhere, and just to stay safe, basically.
Right. It's just even, we used to do like porch parties where we would drive by one of their friends' houses and, they'd stay more than 6 feet apart. But even just that hour of socialization really helped lift our spirits.
Exactly.
We're at the point of the year now where my sons are asking about Halloween. They want to go trick or treating. I said, don't count on it. I also said, I don't think Christmas and Thanksgiving is going to look the same. The problem is that we don't know when this is going to end. And so
Correct.
they want answers. What about my birthday next year? Can we go skiing next winter? And I'm just left to say, I don't know. Can you help us sort of talk our way through the unknown with children who want concrete answers?
Yeah, and I think it's just a matter of being honest. We don't want to give them any expectations of saying, next month, 2 months, 3 months, because that time's going to come. You're going to be counting down those days, and it doesn't come. And I think it's just being brutally honest. I think they, for instance, here we were supposed to start school 2 days a week in school, 2 days at home, and they were so excited about going into school, even though it was going to be with masks on. And literally, like 2 weeks ago, they're like, oh, that's not going to happen. And now it's October. And again, my kids are a little bit older. They still are asking the when, the why, and I think they're understanding the why. But I'm actually already starting to introduce the idea that it may not be October, that start date in October either. It may not be till the new year, because I think if we start to put out a little bit further in advance, like it may not, our vacation in February that we take every year may not happen this year, which makes mommy cry.
Right, right.
But I think just the realistic expectations, because at the end of the day, I mean, again, they're all the uncertainties, the stressors. But I think if we set these expectations going to happen at a certain time and it doesn't, they're even further disappointed. So I think just being honest and say, I don't know, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Lots of quality family time, and, uh, get with your friends as best you can and socialize. And then everything else is, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we have to deal with what we know. I don't know about your
Exactly.
13-year-olds, but I will say that my 12-year-old is in the prime eye-rolling years of his life. And so, I really tried to focus ever since the pandemic began. Before, but certainly during the pandemic, we have so much to be thankful for. We have a little
Exactly.
cozy house. We have a refrigerator full of food. We have clean clothes in the dresser. We have mommy and daddy who stay home. Like you mentioned, all of us are together. There are so many people in my city, in my state, in this country that don't have, 3 out of the 5 things I just listed. And so I've been trying to say to my children, I know you missed your friends, but aren't we lucky that we can have this nice family meal together? Aren't we lucky that daddy can take you on a big, long mountain bike ride in the middle of the day? So really,
Absolutely.
sort of zooming in on those very small blessings has become one way for us to realize it's not as bad as it could be. And maybe we should be looking at the same set of things in a different way.
I absolutely agree. And we try to do the same exact thing. And to the point where I'm even waking up from my own mental health, waking up every morning and immediately opening my eyes and thinking what I'm grateful for. Even if it's my husband taking the dog out so I don't have to. Those little things in life right now, like we just have to focus as much as we can on the positive and what we do have, and stop focusing on what we can't have, where we can't go, and what we can't do.
How important is it to have a network of friends?
Oh, it's very important. And, kids, moms, dads alike. And I think going back to mom burnout, I think that is where the most impact, the kids, yes, but I think we moms also are just kind of like, okay, we're trying to do it all. And at the end of the day, we're just so tired. we don't even feel like going out and visiting with our one or two girlfriends or going to their house or even getting on a Zoom meetup. So it's incredibly important for our stress level, because just having that time that you're not thinking about real life and you're just having some girl time or kid time is very important at this time, especially right now.
Amen to everything you've been saying. For people who might be new to the idea of mom burnout, not living with it for 12 plus years as I have, and 13 plus as you have, where, Dr. Renee, would you like to point our viewers who want to hear more about what you have to say on the topic?
They can come right over to my website, drreneewellenstein.com. I actually have a little quiz that they can take to see if they have burnout, and a free little gift of a little ebook that I wrote on the topic, because I've experienced it multiple times. And I think as soon as you put it on your radar of what it is, you can catch it earlier on, and you can really take care of it sooner rather than later.
Got it. Well, Dr. Renee Wellenstein, it's been a joy talking with you. I hope good things for you and your children who are going through distance learning. As I say to everyone, we're all in this together, and it's not going to last forever.
Exactly. Thank you for having me.
Of course.